Okay, good day, everyone. Um, I'm gonna start by thanking everybody who is gonna watch this video. And the main purpose of making this video is anybody who can help to do something about it, to help do something about it. The Home Office single-handedly has been perpetrating this abuse on foreigners and immigrants. And this has been going on for a very long time, and it looks like the issue has to be addressed. For some reason, this whole thing has become an abuse and a human rights denial against foreigners and immigrants in this country. It was all started by Theresa May when she was in the Home Office as the Home Office Secretary. In her efforts to try and curb all that was going on, she brought this system in whereby all foreigners or immigrants who are given leave to remain or permission to stay in this country are not entitled to any sort of benefits at all. But surprisingly, this has been going on for a very long time, and it's having a very detrimental effect for so many families who cannot speak for themselves for one way or the other. Apart from the fact that before there were human rights lawyers who would have picked this thing up and fight for it and help these families that have been suffering all this period of time. But for some reason that nobody is actually aware of, most of these lawyers have now been silenced in a way that they pretend not to know what is going on. I'll give you one example. An immigrant who is living here in the UK who has been granted leave to remain. You go, you apply for your NI, you start working, you pay your taxes into the pot. They have politically termed it public funds. What is public funds? Public funds is the money that is being used to help suffering families, benefits, free school meals and all those sort of things. And the name public funds make it seem as if it's for the public who deserve it. It's for the citizens who deserve it, not for the people who are paying into it. Because every foreigner who lives here, who has got leave to remain, work, and then they pay their taxes. I know people, this particular case that I'm going to talk about, they pay more than £500 in taxes every month, but they are not entitled to any sort of benefits because their leave to remain, at the back of the card is written that they are not entitled to any public funds. How can you tell somebody who is working and paying taxes into the pot and paying over £500 a month that they are not entitled to any sort of benefit? No child benefit, no child tax credit, not housing benefit, but their counterparts, their English friends, their British co-workers that they work with in the same companies who pay taxes are entitled to get child benefit for their children. They are also entitled to get child tax credit for their children. So is this discrimination, this abuse, or this is human rights? I want everybody who is watching this video to understand this properly, because it's just unfair that the Home Office will be able to institutionalize this. This has been going on in this country for a very long time, and most people seem to keep a blind eye on this. This just came to light because I've got this friend whose wife just gave birth, and then as she was discharged, they came home, the midwife came and visited. And as she came trying to help the Mother that has just come home, she brought some forms, and then among these forms there was child benefit forms, and she's advising the lady that, oh, fill these forms and send it up to the HMRC, and then you'll be supported in one way or the other for your newborn baby. So the lady she filled out the form. When her husband came from work, she said to him, oh, I've done this, and then post it for me, and let's see whether we get some support for our little baby. And to her surprise, she was told that they are not entitled to the child benefits. She knows her husband works 24/7, 6 days a week, a very good job, paying over between £500 and £600 in taxes a month. And these taxes is going to the public funds, the pot where everybody draws from. But their own child, because they are immigrants or they are foreigners working in this country, is not entitled to get any sort of benefits from the same pot that he pays into. Do you think it would be right to have any English person being denied a child benefit because they don't work, or being denied child benefit because they are not entitled to? So how is it fair that an immigrant or a foreigner who has been given permission to live in this country, they work and they pay their taxes, but they are not entitled to the child benefit, to the child tax credit, or to any housing sort of benefit or any help from the government, because they need to hold on to that permit to work for the next 10 years before they will get any entitlement to what is being called public funds, which is actually the pot where everybody pays into so that you can draw when you need help. The term public funds has been given to it just to make the public feel that a stranger or a foreigner or an immigrant is taking money from what it's entitled to them, but not the foreigner himself. But most of these foreigners, as soon as they get their NI, they go straight up there, they get a job, and they are working. And every country that you do, every work that you do legally in this country, you pay taxes on them. So indirectly, this foreigner or this immigrant is paying taxes and contributing to the same pot where most of these English people, British people, who either work or don't work, still draw their public funds from. They are entitled to because they are English people. They are entitled to because they are British citizens. But then the foreigner who has been allowed to stay here, they've been allowed to work and pay their taxes, is not entitled to have any sort of benefits, either the child benefit or the child tax credit or any sort of public funds, because when their leave to remain, which is usually 30 months now, 2.5 years, is given to them, it's politically stipulated at the back of the card that they are not entitled to any public funds. This is human rights abuse. Where are all the human rights lawyers in this country? They used to work very hard, so admirable. This is 21st century Britain, and I believe everybody who is out there wanting things to change, discrimination against foreigners, against black people, and entitlement, should stand up and fight against this. I think this issue has to be addressed fairly, because it's not fair to tell somebody who has come to your country that you can come and work, you can come and contribute taxes to build the economy, but your child, when he goes to school and they need school meals, they are not entitled to. I'm sorry, you can't have it because your dad hasn't got access to public funds. Oh, your landlord is kicking you out and we can't help you, I'm afraid, because your card says you are not entitled to public funds. Oh, your child cannot get benefit. I'm sorry, sir, because you are not entitled to public funds, whilst you are paying over £500 in taxes. to the same pot where every other person who has the need is drawing from. This is human rights abuse. This has been going on for a very long time, but because it doesn't directly affect any English or British person, people don't seem to know about it. The midwife was shocked when the lady told her that, oh no, I'm sorry, we did it, but they said we don't qualify for it. We cannot apply for it. And she said, why? And they said, oh, because my husband's card, his leave to remain in the country at the back of it says he is not entitled to public funds. And she said, what if it's public funds? And the wife said, oh, I'm not sure, but it looks like where they calculate the money so that you can get some. Even though my husband works in a very good job and pays all his taxes, he is not allowed to take public funds for a new baby. He is not entitled to get a child benefit for a new baby. This baby has been registered in the registry. This baby has got a birth certificate issued here in Britain, but is still not recognized as the baby has any entitlement to the child benefit. Please, 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 everyone concerned, this is an issue that needs to be addressed. Let's be fair with ourselves. Every citizen or every human being for that matter that lives in this country that have the desire to work hard and pay their taxes and contribute to the pot, the one that is termed public funds, I believe has the right to draw from these public funds when they need it. The justification that any foreigner or immigrant who has been given the leave to remain cannot draw from these public funds should be made public, so that we know that if you're a foreigner, you've been discriminated against in a way that you cannot or you don't have access to any good thing in this country because you have been sidelined, you have been discriminated against, your human rights are not respected, and you have to continue contributing to this pot for the next 10 years before you or your children will have any entitlement. This is not right. 21st century British people, please, let's stand up against this and let's get a home office to correct this mistake that has been perpetrated against immigrants and foreigners for a very long time. Thank you for watching me, and please, I hope this video is not going to be in vain. We are going to stand up for justice, for goodwill, and work together for the benevolence of these people to be seen all around the world. We need to be fair to each other. I believe every child born in this country to parents who are entitled to work, who work hard and pay their part of taxes into the public funds or into the pot, are also entitled to have child benefit, to have child tax credit, and to have free school meals if possible, or if they are entitled to. Come on, Britain, let's wake up. Thank you very much for watching me, and I believe this video is not an offensive one, but it's a one that we should all stand up to and watch and participate in helping everybody living in this country to be able to do the correct thing and be fairly treated. Thank you all. Have a good day. Thanks.